Hi, good Wednesday greetings, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Your News Today. Midweek already into the mid-80s and above. We have went temperature-wise, and in fact, heat indices much higher than that. We do have low pressure coming tomorrow. A really increased chance of some showers and thunderstorms, possibly even some heavy rain out of this as well. And a cold front rolling through Friday means pretty much ditto. We'll talk about your rain chances and the pattern that continues to not let up in just a few moments. The one story that I told you last night I would have this evening is the one story we will not have this evening, with my apologies. The ribbon cutting ceremony at the McGoffin County High School is one we will be covering. However, with some late breaking news and some other headlines which we have ready to air tonight, we'll hold off the ribbon cutting ceremony for tomorrow's program. Just as I was coming into the studio to edit that particular program, came upon the scene of what was apparently a violent attack between two men outside of the newsroom. It was seen by eyewitnesses and neighbors nearby, caught on security camera here at the studio as well. One man was arrested, one was taken to an area hospital. We'll have a complete rundown and update on the situation as it's still ongoing as far as the investigation is concerned. We'll also have an update of the Mountain Parkway project, a brief one at that. And I did manage to get in to edit and out a little football action for you. I mean, classes start here in McGoffin County, of course, we know next Thursday. Football season's just barely around the corner from that. In fact, you can catch some action the day after school starts next week right here at home. We'll take you to the camp today where, sadly, one of the players won't be playing the rest of the season after being injured on the field just about the time I had rolled in this morning to check in with head coach Scotty McCoy. So we'll talk about that, get an update on the player's injury, and hear from the coach about the rest of the players and his team this season. That's what we'll focus on tonight. We'll go ahead and begin with the before-mentioned update on the Mountain Parkway expansion project. The bottom line is that it's just a necessity that should you be traveling anywhere in the construction zones, that you take your time and pay attention. They are very good about notifying us of lane changes and traffic stops and slowdowns and things of that nature. But even when you're aware of them, it's still good to be on your toes. There's going to be some significant traffic switches this week from mile marker between 69 and 72. We'll look at 72 going west at this time. Crews working on the Mountain Parkway expansion in McGoffin County are going to change traffic patterns this week, allowing workers to advance the widening of the roadway near Sagersville. So we as motorists, they say, should prepare for several lane switches between mile point 69 and 72 on the Parkway just west of Sagersville. Speed limits have been reduced in the area, and signs will be posted to alert travelers of the changes. In the area of the new Gifford Road interchange, both lanes of the Parkway traffic will shift to what will become the westbound lanes of the Parkway. We've already seen one of those major shifts thus far, and you can see the blacktop they are laying today. That will result in another shift of traffic into the westbound lanes of the Parkway from the eastbound side. That change will move vehicles onto a new bridge that has been constructed over the middle fork of the Licking River. Of all the changes to the Parkway, this one to me is perhaps one of the most dramatic. As you can see, coming into the Route 30 area, the Exit 72 area, as you can see clearly now, the path that the Parkway will take will be bypassing these few miles of the Mountain Parkway as we have known them, taking them literally over the hillside. It's not the only bypass, but I think it's the most striking to look at. And here's some other striking views of the Parkway as well. Another shift will take place near the Kentucky 30 interchange, Exit 72, where vehicles will be shifted to new pavement on what will become the eastbound lanes as well, but before shifting back to the existing roadway. Keep in mind, these lane switches allow crews to work safely and efficiently to bring us another step closer, they say, to a 4-lane Mountain Parkway. The switches are expected to occur this Friday, and, of course, inclement weather could affect the schedule. I'll be right back after this message or two. For high-speed internet starting at 15 meg for all of your gaming, movie, home, and business solutions, or to watch TV, including your favorite local channels without a contract, with hundreds of channels and digital and HD quality, and to stay connected 24/7 with friends and family. A direct line to 911, or to give your business the link it needs, choose telephone service you know is always there. Just click on their link on this site to find out how affordable the latest technology in communications can be. Foothills Communications. Our top story for this evening is just coming out of edit, and I'll have that for you in just a few moments as it pertains to that altercation that took place just a few feet across the street from the newsroom earlier this afternoon. With that still in the works, it gives me a moment to check in with Coach Scotty McCoy and the team earlier today. A bit of bad news, however, started off the report and their morning of camp. They've been holding camp this week, and it's not just all about fundamentals either. I'll let Coach McCoy explain in just a few moments. However, sadly this morning, one of their freshman players, a young man taking to the team this year, was injured and suffered a broken arm during practice. You never want a player injured. Keeping them healthy, of course, is part of the job, as well as teaching them fundamentals. However, they are now a man down, a man they couldn't afford to lose after freshman Doug Allen suffered a broken arm this morning. He was taken by ambulance to the Paul B. Hall Medical Center and then to Pikeville, we are told, by ambulance for repair of his arm.
I got a broke arm. He ended up hitting the ground, getting tackled, put the arm down, and end up breaking that forearm bone. Actually, probably both of them. He's up at Pikeville right now, going to get that fixed. My daughter did it 4 days ago. Same exact thing. It's her third broken arm, and she's 6 years old. So that's part of football. We, the best thing about what come out of that is, after the ambulance left, I come out here, and the player said, "Coach, let's circle up and pray for him." So somebody on this coaching staff, and hopefully it's all of us, are instilling that into them, and that's good.
And Coach McCoy says they're hoping to instill some fundamentals into his team this year, but that's not the sole focus of this camp.
Yes, sir. Normally we go to Georgetown. We went to Georgetown a few times and did a team camp there. Biggest thing is team bonding, having the kids all together. We've been going from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tonight we're staying all night, so we've been here at 8 a.m. and we'll leave tomorrow sometime tomorrow. I've been fortunate enough to have the coaching staff help out with food. Parents have been great. Some of the community has donated some stuff for us to fix for them. It's just a good time. More bonding than it is even football for the most part. But now we're going to practice, and they're getting better, and that's what we want to do. I got about 22 kids out right now. Got a few hurt. I'd say we're down to about 19 in pads who are playing right now. Now 18 with Dougie getting hurt. Majority of them are returners. I've got about 5 new players who've never played football before. Got about 4 or 5 freshmen who come out. So it's all new learning to them. So we're trying to get better each day and get fundamentally sound with football.
They're putting in time at the camp. They've been putting in time for practice this summer. Football really never ends in a lot of aspects, and that's all because the season starts soon. And in fact, they'll be on the field in a scrimmage next week, and the season will kick off officially the week after.
We do have a scrimmage on next Thursday, a week from tomorrow. We're bringing Lawrence County right here on our home field. We're going to open up. That's our first scrimmage. That gives me time to go scout on Friday and Saturday and get ready for opening week the next week.
Opening week.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Next week we scrimmage, and then the following week. So we're 2 weeks out from season actually beginning.
It certainly is hard to believe that the season is that close and just around the corner. And, of course, we'll be there for every home game and possibly some thereafter. The season schedule pretty much stays the same, says Coach McCoy. Same teams, just reversed. Home games that were home last year will be on the road this year and vice versa. We'll be getting you up to date on the season schedule and, of course, some more Hornet football information, talking to some players, and much more very soon. For now, a few words from a few sponsors. We'll be right back with our top story in just a moment. A situation that apparently has been ongoing now for months escalated between 3 individuals earlier today to a violent beating just outside the newsroom. It happened right around the 3 o'clock hour this afternoon when Scott Wright pulled into a rental home that he used to live in. It's just across the street from the newsroom, and I know that he's not been living there for the past several months, but he did pull into the residence, and while he was exiting Cooper Street on his motorcycle, a Ford Ranger pickup pulled in, blocked him in, and the driver got out and started beating him with a wooden stick. The entire event witnessed by a neighbor, caught on my surveillance system, and seen in part by members of the Sagersville Fire and Police Department who were standing just yards away.
We were sitting there talking, the fire chief and myself and a couple of the paid guys for the fire department, and a lady knocked on the door and stated that there were two gentlemen fighting up the street, and one had a ball bat hitting the other, and we run out on the porch, and we witnessed the subject swinging what appeared to be some type of stick. It wasn't a ball bat. Went ahead and arrested a Billy Gamble for assault second on a Scotty Ritt.
I was out here on the sidewalk, and all of a sudden it just got my attention. I was having a yard sale anyway, but the truck pulled in toward the turnoff up Cooper Street. So he pulled in to stop the motorcycle from going. And the boy fell over, or the motorcycle kind of turned over to its side or whatever, and the boy fell off, and when he did, or started to fall off, and then he jumped out of that truck with the stick in his hand, and he started beating with that stick. And we first didn't realize what he's doing, and we thought it was his brother, his son, or somebody. Something was named about money. And he just kept beating really hard. And I was hollering, "Don't do that, don't do that. You're going to kill him." And I said, 911's coming. But we hadn't called 911. But I started walking out there, and he told me to shut up. And then he jumped in the vehicle, and he threw the stick in the back of the bed of the truck. And he pulled out, went up there to turn. And by then the police and everybody was coming around.
After Gamble is seen pulling out of the scene, you can also see Hensley walking up to check on the victim. About 20 seconds later, Gamble's pickup truck can be seen driving back towards Sagersville. That's when Police Chief Matthew Watson says that he encountered the pickup truck and made a traffic stop.
Billy had already got in his vehicle to leave, and I stopped him as he was coming down the road. Pulled over in front of him and stopped him. He got out and gave himself up.
Watson also told us that when he went to the back of the pickup truck to find the stick used in the assault, that it was no longer there. However, moments before that, I walked up to the pickup truck as it was sitting on the side of the road where Gamble had exited it when Watson stopped him, and the stick, which was broken into two pieces during the beating, was still lying in the back of the truck. We're unsure of where it went or how it was removed or retrieved from the truck, but video plainly shows it there upon the exit of Gamble from his pickup truck. In a follow-up with Police Chief Watson just a few moments ago, in addition to 55-year-old Billy Gamble of Sagersville being arrested on a charge of assault in the second degree, as he said, and lodged in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center, he says he was also made aware that there was a warrant in the name of Scott Wright that was effective as well. The county and the reason for the warrant we're still unsure of, and we're looking that up. But with a warrant in Wright's name, he called the Johnson County authorities, I believe the Johnson County Sheriff's Department specifically, and requested that they go to the Paulby Hall Medical Center to make sure that he didn't check himself out, given the fact that there was a warrant in Wright's name. He says then he was notified, however, that Wright suffered a compound fracture to one of his arms, possibly 5 to 6 broken ribs, and a possible broken leg in the assault. The entire incident remains under investigation. We'll have an update as soon as one's available.